Dominance is most certainly the most misunderstood topic in dog behavior. Actually, I think it's the second most misunderstood. I think yesterday's topic is the most misunderstood. The whole notion of punishment and how we get reliability in training. I hope I made it quite clear yesterday that I do not make value judgments about the tools that people use in training. I view my job is to teach people how to use those tools better. How to use food and toys and games better, so we get the dog motivated and reliable, but especially how we use the control tools. And some of these are punishment tools better. That's really important to me that we test, train, test. We count the number of commands, we count the number of punishments, we count the number of correct responses, and we're trying to reduce our control tools as training goes on. That, to me, is a huge definition of training. Obviously, the puppy has this puppy license to get away with murder, but it starts to get cancelled about 3.5, 4.5 months of age. Correlates perfectly with the testosterone. But there's none of this stuff we've read about in training books of alpha rollovers. Didn't happen. A dog shaking a puppy. Hello? Didn't happen. And imagine what would happen if it did happen. Dead puppy, just like that, broken neck. And so we saw that, yeah, there was a lot of bluster, but it was kind of like, it was noise. There was no contact, you know. We did see things like we would see an open gate pin. But when you look at it, it goes like this, because what you see in real time is, whoa, and the puppy's on his back. And so you say, see? She alpha rolled over the puppy. No. Here's it in slow motion. Eye contact. Oh. Whoa. So what you're getting is the signs of appeasement well before the signs of any kind of physical domination. And of course there could never be that. That would be dead puppy. So you, whoa, but the puppy is beforehand going, whoa, sorry, and little spray of urine. Okay? In summary, the whole thing about dominance hierarchies, there's simply no founding of them at all when you actually watch dogs, of that matter, watch wolves. Yes, dogs have hierarchies. Male dogs like to have linear hierarchies, or let's call them simple hierarchies. How does this relate then to us living with dogs? Well, not much at all. It doesn't matter whether our little pack of dogs at home or dogs that our dog meets on the street know their hierarchical relationships, whether it's linear, whether it's triangular, whether it's complicated, it's all irrelevant. What matters is that your dog has bite inhibition. And so if he has an argument, he doesn't hurt the other dog, and vice versa. Should we extrapolate it to dog training? Yeah, I would say yeah. I would say what dogs can teach us about how we should run our relationship with dogs is a lot. They want harmony. They don't want physical pain. They don't want fear. They want to get along. And they do this stuff in puppyhood, so they do get along. A human equivalent would be rules, any rules. I don't care what they are, but lots and lots of little rules. Because if you enforce little rules with puppies, you'll never be combated with the big rule. Like, do I kill my owner or not? Is this my bone or his? These questions don't come up if you've dealt with rules like you chew your bone in your crate. No, your paw's outside the crate, in the crate. You make a big deal about what is in the crate and what's not. Just for no reason than you don't want greasy bones on the carpet, or for the reason you're teaching the dog a rule. It's will an emergency command like a sit or a down work when the dog is in the middle of his instinctive drift and he's heading towards the predatory endpoint? The short answer is it has to, or else that's the last time your dog's off leash, because it's a great way to get a dog killed. The training process, though, it needs to be gradual. You see, nearly every behavior problem is always presented in the way that here is the impossible scenario. Pointer, 100 miles away, about to kill a deer, and pointer in the living room who's perfectly well behaved. Well, what I do with those people is I say, bring your dog on stage, I will prove to you he won't sit here. Remember what I said yesterday? And I will show this. I've never lost this bet. It's a $100 bet. Never lost it. Oh, $100 to 1. If they win, they get 100. If I win, I get 1. Oh, you owe me $2, by the way, Jerry. He gave you his dollar. I saw that. Yeah. And so first we get the dog reliable in the living room, then in the house, then in the yard, then in a friend's yard, then another friend's yard, then a yard with one other dog, then another yard with 2 dogs, and so on, a yard with a squirrel. And you've got to train in all these situations, and you've got to get a feeling for what is your reliability basis. So like for Omaha, I could tell you it was 90 yards. If he got to 100, 110, I didn't trust him anymore. So I'm giving his commands now at 50 yards. I'm not letting him get close to the area where he's starting to get out of control.